Looking at the reaction of the people in this video, you would think that someone famous is on this train. But who could it be? Jackie Chan? Michelle Yeoh? Constance Wu? What has all these people in a frenzy? Well, the reality is that no one famous is on this train. The reason that people seem to be going bananas is simply because of the bananas in the middle of your screen, in a manner of speaking. Oh, and because of people like this lady here. Hey everybody, I'm here in Bangkok, Thailand, and today I have a special trip for you. I'm going to a market. Now, anybody knows me knows that I'm not really one for markets. Matter of fact, I hate shopping. This market's a little unique. It is gaining popularity. Matter of fact, they're booking tours right now. They'll take you to the floating market and then they'll bring you here. But I'm not into that. I'm going to just come and see this market and then I'm going to go on about my business. But one unique spin is I'm going to take a taxi here and then I'm going to ride the train out of here so you can see what everybody flocks here for. And that's to see the train pass through, because they have the market set up and when the train passes through they take the market down. So that's what we're going to check out. Let's get to it. Maeklong, Thailand seems like just another sleepy little town that sits in the shadows of the mighty city of Bangkok. But Maeklong has an attraction that Bangkok doesn't offer. Hundreds of thousands of people flock to it every year, and the attraction is only building. I'm talking about none other than the Maeklong Market. Now, if there's one thing Thailand has a lot of, that would be markets. But how many markets do you know that has a train that goes right smack through the middle of it? That's what we're here to investigate today. It's early in the morning and I just arrived at the train station. I made my way to see the market and to see what all the fuss is about. My first impression was it was empty and not a whole lot of activity was going on. The train station essentially consisted of a giant shed that covered the tracks. At first glance, I couldn't see what all the fuss was about. It pretty much felt like I was the only one there, besides the monk that was roaming around looking to buy a ticket. Okay, this is pretty much ground zero for the Maeklong Market. This is where everyone goes to see the train. Train station is right over here. Market's right over there. And it's pretty calm because there's no train scheduled to arrive for 2 hours. But when it does get here, this place gets crazy. You'll be jockeying for the best position possible. So I suggest if you want a good picture that you get here early and you scope out the best spot. Otherwise, you will be jockeying for the best position. Walking away from the train station and further down the tracks revealed the main attraction. The further you walked, the more the market would start to take shape and you will find yourself greeted with an abundance of vegetables spread out alongside the tracks. And it's not just vegetables that they sell here at this market. You can find just about everything here. It's not uncommon to find food laid out alongside the railroad tracks. I don't exactly know what this is, but I can tell you that it's very popular with the ants.
I just freaking hit my head on one of the poles over here. They pretty much cover the tracks when there's no train, and there's poles protruding everywhere, and I just rammed my head in one. But anyway, things are pretty calm right now. But as soon as the crowds get here, things start to go nuts.
When there is not a train scheduled to arrive anytime soon, the market is pretty placid. It's easy to walk about at a leisurely pace. If you are looking to shop, this is the time to do it. While walking, I found a break in coverage and took a moment to get a good look at the surrounding area of the market. Essentially, the market is located between two rows of buildings with train tracks going through. We're not talking about a whole lot of space here.
The market sells everything here. You name it, they got it. They got fish, they got vegetables, they got spices, they got things I don't even know what the hell they are. But anything you want, you can pretty much buy here. And on top of that, prices seem pretty darn reasonable. It's not overpriced. Like if this was Bangkok, man, they would charge you to the max, but the prices are pretty reasonable.
Right. The market sold all kind of knickknacks, ranging from candles to delicious candies. And the veggies looked like they were filled with nutrients. And while I have your attention, if you want to enjoy more videos like this one, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I appreciate you. And while we're at it, why don't you also click the like button to help me out with the algorithm?
Anyway, while I was walking through here, I saw that they have some fresh coconut juice, and I was thinking, man, I gotta try that. Normally, I don't even like coconut juice, but I don't know, maybe it's the heat that's doing it to me because it's just so hot and it looks so refreshing. So I'm definitely gonna get one of those before I leave. How much?
Now I just need to figure out what to do with this big ass coconut shell. Eventually, I found a trash can. I spent more than a couple hours roaming up and down the tracks looking at all the goods they had to sell at the market. I begin to wonder what portion of the sales are made up by tourists because the market seems to mostly cater towards local clientele. I mean, how many tourists are going to buy a live fish and bring it back to its hotel? Or these peppers, you certainly can't bring them back to your country.
So I'm at the train station waiting for the next train. It leaves at 3:30. It's 1:15, so I got at least a good 2 hours to kill, and I've pretty much seen everything there is to see here. So it's going to be a long 2 hours.
With 2 hours to kill, I headed down to the river to watch the boats go by. That bought me about 30 minutes before I got bored. It was simply too hot out here. I needed to find a place where I could cool off and chill.
Meanwhile, since I have so much time to kill, I saw a cafe at the end of the market. I figured I'd head over there and just hang out and cool off because I am sweating profusely over here.
As far as I'm concerned, Chubby's Bistro is hands down the spot to just chill. It's clean, it's comfortable, and they have some good ass food. I picked a spot near the window which was perfect for people watching. The bistro is next to the train tracks, so a lot of people go by. It was fun to sit here and watch all the Instagram models pose for the perfect shot. Of course, while I did that, I needed something to cool off and delicious to enjoy. Chubby's has the best food at the market. It was quite refreshing and the food here was absolutely the bomb.
All right, it's roughly about 2 o'clock and we're waiting for the train to arrive. Should be here in another 25 minutes or so. People are already starting to gather around this area. This is where everyone starts taking the pictures of the market and the train. So I'm here early so I can get myself a good spot of the train coming down the track. The market begins basically over here and it goes all the way, extends all the way into the station, which is, I don't know, roughly maybe a quarter of a mile, if that. Probably not that far, but it extends back that way a ways. But this is the beginning of it, so the train's gonna be coming from this direction, going that way.
So I headed towards the market looking to set up my camera and get the perfect shot for when the train goes by. People were starting to gather around in anticipation of the train's arrival. And then all the vendors began to prepare for the train's arrival. It was at that point I knew that the train was close. Everyone was making an effort to clear the tracks. And while we wait for the vendors to prepare for the oncoming train, now's a good time to click subscribe for more awesome travel videos and adventures on this channel. And after you do that, don't forget to smash the like button to help share this video with others. Thank you. At last, the track was cleared for the train to pass by. As you can see, there isn't much separation between the train and the building. It's definitely close quarters. The train passes through 4 times a day. It makes me wonder if there has ever been an incident between the train and a tourist. I don't know about your country, but this would never be allowed where I come from. Regardless, everyone from the train reps right down to the vendors seem to take safety very seriously. To see what I mean, watch the end credits to get a sense of just how serious they take it. If you're a claustrophobic person, this may not be the ideal circumstance for you because a train seems to take forever to pass by. When the train passes through, you are pretty much stuck where you are until it leaves, and it takes a while due to the train's crawling pace. Finally, the train passes by and the market gets back to business as usual. The tourists scramble to get a shot of the market being set up as the train leaves. Eventually, the people go on about their business like the train never was there.
The people are pretty friendly here. They pretty much let you take pictures of everything. I only had one guy who said I couldn't take a picture or anything. I was trying to take a picture of some peppers and he put his hand over saying no, which is ridiculous. I don't know why. It only brings notoriety to this whole market, so it makes no sense why he said no. But
after spending 4 hours at the market, it was time to head home, and the train was my transportation back. Me being the type that always makes things difficult, I boarded the train where there was no platform, which meant I would have to climb up the train. The inside of the train was nothing special. It certainly wasn't the most comfortable train I had been on, and it was hot due to it not having air conditioning.
you know, one thing I don't get, it totally blows my mind. The cost of a train ticket on this train is 10 baht. What is that, roughly 20 cents? Now, the engine on this train has been running for at least an hour. I mean, they have to be spending the amount of money they make on a train ticket and then some, and just fuel alone running this train. I don't understand. I don't see how they could possibly make a profit charging that little amount of money. Baffling.
The sound of the train horn was the indication that it was time to leave. And before I knew it, I was on my way, headed back towards Bangkok. Unfortunately, to get to Bangkok is not a one and done deal. You actually have to take 2 trains and throw in a ferry ride. It's a hassle, but I'll save that discussion for another video. We pulled out of the train station and plowed through the market as we waved goodbye to all the onlookers. The crowd was gathered as they watched the train go by. This perspective really gives you a sense of just how close the train is to everything. They have signs on the train that advises you not to stick your head out the window, and that is sound advice that you should adhere to. Heck, I was skittish just to have my camera out the window. I was afraid it was going to be taken out by the vendor's poles. All the vegetables and fruits we saw while visiting the market are right there, exposed to the train and all its fumes. But don't let that stop you from buying it. The fumes only add to the flavor. This train is certainly no Shinkansen, but it's severely throttled down as it passes through this portion of the track, just to ensure the tourist safety. Once this area is cleared, they open it up. This seems like the tightest area as a train crawls by. Moments later, you can hear the throttle open up as the train begins to accelerate past the beginning of the Maeklong Market. At this point, I was officially on my way back to Bangkok. This segment of the trip is about an hour. From here on, I can sit back and relax.
As I mentioned before, it takes 2.5 hours to get back from the market to Bangkok, because this is a slow-ass train. But it's a pleasant ride, and it's not AC, but with the windows open, it's pretty well conditioned. And it's comfortable and relaxing, so it's not that bad. But it is a hassle to get back to Bangkok.